What is a dowry and why did it exist?
Can you give me the definition of dowry? To be honest, I don't know what that word is.
It refers to property or money brought by a bride to her husband on their marriage.
Okay.
If women have always been the prize, why did Western families pay men a dowry to marry their daughters?
I think they tried to keep good families with good families, and I think that it was arranged back then. I don't know. I don't have the best opinion on that, to be completely honest.
Why do you think people view dowry as this foreign concept when it was the backbone of European Christian marriage for 1,000 years?
Well, I don't know. I don't feel like people really use that anymore. So, just kind of gone out of style, probably.
Do you believe in traditional marriage? And if so, what does that arrangement look like?
Yes, I do believe in traditional marriage. Looks like one man, one woman.
She stays at home, takes care of the household, makes sure that I have a peaceful place to come whenever I get back from work. I do the work I provide, and she takes care of me when I get home.
Men should be working and women should be able to stay home if they want to, but they should be able to have a career as well. But we're kind of seeing a downtrend in people, women especially, wanting to get married, I think, because now we're having to work and do everything.
What's the most common reason people get married today?
I think because they want to be social media famous and post a lot of their wedding photos on there, usually, instead of actually wanting to be married.
If over half of marriages end in divorce, is love really a good reason to get married?
No.
Yes, I still think it's a good reason to get married. However, I feel like it takes a little bit more work than just love. You have to choose your partner every day.
If women are financially independent now, why is marriage still framed as something men must provide for?
Societal norms.
Traditionally, men are protectors and providers, and I don't see a reason to get married as a woman if you have a career and everything going for you, and giving all that up to let somebody maybe take the chance of divorcing you and taking half your stuff if you have a career.
At what point in history did marriage work the best?
I don't know if it's ever worked good for women. It's always been a huge risk for women to me because back a long time ago, women couldn't get out of marriage if they wanted to get out of it. Now they can, but you still have the possibility of losing a lot of your stuff, uprooting your life, kids, everything.
So wouldn't men want to avoid marriage for the same reason that women are worried about getting
I
married?
think men want to avoid marriage for the fact of that they may have to give up half their money more than anything and also be tied down to one woman.
Why do people call the 1950s traditional marriage when the arrangement was completely different throughout history?
Oh yeah, that's probably because back then, it was easier. Life was more affordable, so the man worked, mom stayed home, cooked, cleaned, took care of the kids. Dad provided for everything. So that's probably why we get that, traditional step.
Well, I just believe that back then it worked out a lot better. There was a lot less divorces and families were together. Things were happy and well, and you had the traditional family, and the economy was good. And so I just, for those reasons, feel like that's probably why. So.
Yeah.
Why are traditionalists more bought into 1950s marriage and the nuclear family than they are towards 2,000 years of arranged marriages and dowries?
It's a good question, and I'm not honestly sure. I feel like with traditional marriages, that was probably what people wanted to be with, who they wanted to be with, not with who they got set up with.
Why is it more traditional to do what happened for a few decades than what happened for a few thousand years?
I guess because this is what people want now. Arranged marriages are scary because you don't know what you're getting into. Now you actually have the choice to be able to do it. Also, well, I think women aren't getting married because they have a choice now.
What is a dowry and why did it exist?
Isn't that where they get arranged marriages?
It refers to property or money brought by a bride to her husband on their marriage.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I know what that is. Usually it was like they were giving their daughters away, wasn't it? And they would give a lot of things with them to be able to make the man want them.
So if women have always been the prize, why did Western families pay men a dowry to marry their daughters?
That is true. I don't really know. Probably because then it was more for land purposes, legal reasons, to bring families together for money because people were so poor then.
Why do people view the dowry as this foreign concept when it was the backbone of European Christian marriage for 1,000 years?
I don't know. I don't really know the answer to that one. Maybe because it's seen as selling your daughter off now versus then it was just accepted.
Because it's weird to think about paying someone's dad or getting paid for someone's daughter, like to take care of someone's daughter, because women aren't viewed as people sometimes.
Speaking of Christmas, are you aware of the origin of the Christmas stocking?
No, we are not.
The origin of Christmas stockings is a Christian legend about St. Nicholas rescuing 3 daughters who had no dowries to get married. So if one of the most beloved Christmas traditions comes from a story about dowries, why is dowry erased from modern discussions of Christian culture?
Well, I think that a lot of stuff's being erased from Christian culture. When you look at it, I mean, the true meaning of Easter, it's replaced by an Easter bunny. You know, the meaning of Christmas has really been replaced by, not that it's replaced by family, but the true meaning of Christmas is celebrating Christ's birth. And now it is, you know, solely based on getting presents and some fat guy coming down your chimney. You know, not even saying that's bad, but like I said, a lot of that's being erased out of the Christian culture as it is. You know, they've adopted a lot of different traditions that go along with different celebrations, even the celebration of Christmas. They kind of conjoined it with a lot of other cultures. So I think that stuff kind of gets pushed out of the way. And I mean, it's Christianity. It's going to get pushed out of the way just because of the world that we live in. You know, Christianity is not, I would say, popular.
Why does society push traditional marriage while ignoring the actual Christian tradition of dowry?
I'm not sure. I think we, as a society, have just are again trying to change from the transactional idea of marriage to more about love.
And how is that working out?
I don't know. I'm not married. Don't ask me. You could ask someone else who's married.
Why are modern men told they shouldn't care about a woman's money when men have been taking dowries for centuries?
Because now you have the opportunity, everybody has the opportunity to be able to make money, not based off of family status.
If kings and emperors took dowries, why are modern men called not real men for wanting financial partnership?
I think because the Lord also in the Bible calls men to provide for their family. If you want kids as a man after your wife gives up her body and everything, I think that you should be willing to pay for anything.
Considering the cost of a house, 2 cars, kids, college, and general living expenses, studies show the average cost of a marriage over time exceeds $1 million. If marriage is that costly, does it really make sense for one person, the man, to shoulder all of it?
Yes, 1,000% to me. Because again, usually if you get married, women want to have children and I have to give up my body for 9 months, you better pay for me.
Why is it considered rude to ask modern women what they bring to the table?
Because I bring the gift of life to the table.
God created Adam, and then he created Eve for Adam. So I do think that there is supposed to be a family. I think the cost of marriage, that's biblically as a man, you're asked to provide. And I definitely think it is doable if you work hard.
If the man can handle that kind of financial responsibility, then sure, take care of your family. That's my goal in life, if I can take care of my wife and kids. If not, find a partner who doesn't mind going half with you or working things out.
Why is it considered rude to ask modern women what they bring to the table?
Because they don't like being checked and having to realize that they actually need to have value other than their body or looks.
If a woman brings no money to a marriage, what value does she bring?
It depends. I mean, if you have a good woman, even if she doesn't have money, that's fine. But, you know, are you my peace? Are you my happiness? Can you support me? Can you pray for me? Can you, you know, obviously cook because I like to eat. You know, the things like that. It could be non-tangible or like intangible things that she could bring to the table.
Why did women contribute more when they weren't working, but contribute less now that they are working?
Forced.
Can you explain?
If I think they were forced, yeah, I mean, a lot of husbands used to beat their wives if they didn't do what they said, and that was acceptable back then. They couldn't get divorced, and they didn't want to leave their kids with their husband. You know, they could threaten to take everything away from them, and it was harder for women to find jobs back then versus now.
Feminism is great in concept, right? And we love women. We love to protect women. Women should be able to do whatever, like in the sense, you know, but like the feminist mindset has also like damaged relationships and marriages and the dating culture and all of that things.
Do women want to be independent while also being provided for? And if so, who's more delusional in their wants?
Oh, 100%. I know a ton of women who want to be like independent, but they want to be taken care of. And it's like, you can have both in a way, but you have to know how to like walk that line accordingly, you know, especially in in your marriage and your relationship. So definitely the women.
Why is her money, but his money is our money?
Feminism.
Why won't women go halves on anything financial in a relationship except divorce?
Because they feel like you should pay for it.
I don't know. I try to go halvesies on everything. First date, I'm offering to pay for half the tab because I don't want a man to ever have financial power over me because I feel like I'd owe my partner.
Do you think that's why guys do that? Is because they want to?
Yeah, it's a big control thing. It's if you don't have any money, you can never leave.
Why can a wife say, my feelings changed, but a husband can't say, my finances changed?
I think he can, but if his finances have changed, he needs to be looking for somewhere else to get some more money.
I mean, it is our job to protect and provide. So in that sense, when you get married, you are agreeing to provide for your wife. However, again, having a good wife, if things change with your finances, she should be willing to step up without question.
Didn't the dowry exist to make obligations mutual?
In a way, I think, but also that helped out not just the wife and husband, but also both families back then.
Why are men still expected to pay all the bills and lead the relationship while women can opt in and out of responsibilities based on feelings?
I don't think that they're able to opt out of responsibility, especially if they have children. Now, if children aren't in the mix, that might be a different scenario. But if children are in the mix, the woman always is the default parent, for sure.
Why was dowry done away with?
To try and make marriage seem more about love and less transactional, I think.
I feel like something changed, and as society progressed, they was like, why should we keep doing this? And I think men also, or maybe even women, wanted to not have to be put in arranged marriages and things like that, and they just wanted to be with who they wanted to be with.
What would dowry look like in a modern society?
That'd be weird. Could you imagine like marrying a girl and then her dad gives you money for it? Like, here's my daughter. By the way, here's $50,000. That's weird.
Why is it weird?
I don't know, because you should want to marry someone because they're your partner and you want to do life together, not because you're going to get, however X amount of money from her dad and the financial stability.
What's the difference between being asked for a dowry and being asked to sign a prenup?
A dowry, you're giving something. A prenup, you are agreeing to something even 20 years down the line, possibly.
Isn't one getting money up front and the other is preventing money from being taken?
Yes, it is.
Why is a prenup acceptable, but a traditional Christian dowry isn't?
I would think because I don't really know. I don't know.
Do you think men fully understand the risks of marriage, or do they overlook them in pursuit of love?
Generally speaking, I think we definitely overlook it. We probably like recognize it and know it, but we like, you know what? She wouldn't do that to me. She loves me. And so we're like, yeah, we'll go for it. And then she turns out to be horrible.
I don't think women understand the risk of marriage. I think men fully understand, and they don't have to have a kid. And usually if they end up divorcing, guess who gets custody of the kids and has to take care of them? The wife. 90% of the time. It's usually, sometimes it happens with the man, but it is such a risk because you may have to take care of every child you've had while you've been with them, and then they're able to go off and do whatever they want and be single.
But wouldn't the man also be responsible for paying child support?
Yeah, but they don't pay a lot of the times.
And lastly, have men been blinded by love, or is love more important than the financial reality of sustaining a 25-plus year marriage?
Both. As men, we want to be loved. We want to have that person. But at the same time, we also get blinded by the fact of love that, hey, this could be a bad financial decision. But we don't care. I don't.